Okay, welcome back on this. Today we are going to work on homework from chapter T, on homework from chapter 3. On this homework, we need to find percentages based on standard deviation. So what I did is I copied the problem to a Word document. So let me open that up. And here is the problem. It says, consider a population of 1,024 mutual funds that primarily invest in large companies. You have determined that your mu, or the mean 1-year total percentage return achieved by all funds is 8.10, and that the standard deviation is 0.50. Completes parts A through C. So part A, it says, according to the empirical rule, what percentage of these funds is expected to be between two standard deviations of the mean. So that one is really easy. You can find that on your textbook. And here is the empirical rule. So if you have a normal distribution, uh, you're gonna see that 95% of all your observations is going to be between two standard deviations. So the answer for part 8 is 95%. Now, the second part, it says, according to Chebychev's rule, what percentage of these funds are expected to be between two standard deviations of the mean? Once again, you can find this on your textbook. And according to Chebychev's theorem, we know that at least 75% of our observations are going to fall between two standard deviations. Now, the last part is a little bit more challenging. It says, according to Chebychev's rule, at least 88.99% of these funds are expected to have 1-year total returns between what two amounts? Okay, so basically what this is asking us is that we need to find the standard deviations for 88.89% using Chebychev's rule or Chebychev's theorem. Before we go any further, let's review Chebychev's theorem. It says, for a heavily skewed set of data and data that does not appear to be normally distributed. So whenever you can, you want to use the empirical rule, but when that does not apply, then you can use Chebychev's theorem. So basically, according to Chebychev's theorem, it states that for any data set, regardless of the shape, the percentage of values that are found between distance of k standard deviations from the mean must be at least 1 minus 1 divided by the standard deviations square times 100. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one, we're going to use Excel, because Excel saves the data for us, makes it so much easier to enter any information. So here I have a brand new sheet for Excel. And first thing, what we're going to do is we're going to enter the data the problem is giving us. So we have our mean. So let's write our mean over here. Our mean equals, according to this, 8.10. And then we have our standard deviation, and our standard deviations equals 0.5. Okay, so what we need to do is find k, which is our number of standard deviations that we need to find this data. All right, so let's start by grabbing the Chebyshev theorem, and we're going to start over here, and we have that 1 minus, we're going to open parentheses so we're clear what we're doing, 1 divided by k squared, okay, times 100%. Let me make this a little bit bigger here so I got plenty of space. Is going to equals 88.89%. Okay, That sounds about right. Let me double check the problem. And yeah, okay. All right, so basically what we need to do is we need to solve for k. So what I am going to do is I am going to write the steps as we go along to make it easy. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to divide this by 100% just to get rid of the percentage. So I'm going to write my steps in here so we know what we're doing. Divide by 100%. So if we divide this by 100%, we get that this is going to equals 1 minus 1k squared. And this is going to equals 88.89, not 79, but 89 divided by 100%. And that gives us 0.89%. Okay, now that we do have that, let's get rid of this one here. So we are going to subtract 1. I'm going to write my step in here so we know what we're doing. So if we subtract 1, this is going to equals negative 1 divided by k squared. And oops. So we have negative 1 divided by k squared is going to equals 1 minus, oops, no, sorry, this minus 1. Okay, so that is going to equal 0.11%. Okay, so on this case, what we are going to do is multiply by k squared to get rid of the k squared underneath. So multiply by k squared. And we do that, we do get here negative 1, negative 1, and is going to equal negative 0.1, is going to equals negative 0.111 k squared. Okay, so to get rid of these negative signs, why don't we just multiply by negative 1? So you could have done that on a single step, but I didn't, so it doesn't matter. So we have that 1 is going to equals 0.111 k squared. Okay, so now we need to solve for k, for k squared. And what we do to do that, we are going to divide. So this is going to equals 1 divided by 0.111 is going to equals k squared. Okay, and now what we need to do is do square root. So this is going to be equal to square root of this here, and that will equals k. So I found k, I'm sorry, not k squared, but k. So now I found my k, I'm just going to type equals, and I'm going to enter this value here. All right, here is my k. Now what I'm going to do, I found this. Now if you look back again on your textbook, and we have in here, right, that it says that the mean minus 2 times standard deviations and the mean plus 2 standard deviation is going to give us 75%. And so all we need to do is replace the number 2 by the value that we find of k, and that will give us our solution. So we have here that lower amount is going to equals, I'm gonna write the formula here, is going to equal our mean minus parentheses k times our standard deviation, and our upper amount that is the lower amount, upper amount is going to be equals 30 plus. Okay, so we gotta do is now enter those values. So I'm gonna have here equals, here is our mu, minus, open parentheses, we have k times our standard deviation, and then we're gonna have that this is going to equals our mean plus, open parentheses, we have our standard deviations times our, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter, but I'm just gonna type the k first just to follow the law, the rules, and this, close my parentheses, and that would be the two values. 9 according to the homework, this should be down to 2 decimal points. So let me so that'll be 9.60, sorry, 6.60 and 9.60, and that will be your solution. All right, let me know if you have any questions.